Hello, my dear students. Welcome back. In this session, I am going to discuss about the few important points regarding meiosis. In my last session, we completed meiosis up to cytokinesis. So here, I want to give you a tabular form regarding different stages of meiosis. This tabular form will help you to understand the process thoroughly and also to answer many numerical questions related to meiosis, and I will also discuss few numerical questions at the end of the session. So follow my session carefully from the beginning to the end. So in this table, I have given different points. I have made a table showing different points. I have taken example of Pisum where 2n number is 14, and with respect to taking this number, we are going to discuss various aspects regarding meiosis like chromosome number, chromatids, DNA, bivalents, and arms present in different stages of cell division. Like first parent cell before division, or when it enters into division like G1, S, G2, and various stages. So I'm going to write each and every stage, what are the chromosomes and other aspects. Try to understand carefully and note down the table properly. So first we'll start with the parent cell before division. What is the meaning of this? Parent cell before division is a cell may or may not undergo any division. A cell, depending upon the type of cell, it may undergo either mitotic division or meiotic division. But some cells may not divide at all. So that is called as a parent cell. Parent cell may or may not enter into division. So parent cell here, say if we take Pisum, it will have chromosome number 14 and chromatids also 14. Because before division, a chromosome will have only one chromatid. So DNA also will be 14. DNA also will be 14. No bivalents are formed. Bivalents are formed only when cell enters into meiosis. Arms, if we take, there will be two arms present. Depending on centromere, always a chromosome will have two arms except for telocentric. This is very important point which you have to remember, children. Every chromosome, you know there are 4 types of chromosomes based on the centromere. First is metacentric, then submetacentric, then acrocentric, telocentric. So except for telocentric, remaining all the other 3 types of chromosomes will have 2 arms. Arms are the region of chromosome. I'll just show here the region of chromosome. Suppose this is centromere. The region of chromosome above and below the centromere. So about this again in detail I'm going to do in chromosome structure, but for now you have to remember every chromosome will have 2 arms except if it is a telocentric chromosome. Okay, that is in case of a parent cell. Now let us see when cell enters into division. When any cell enters into division, it is called as a meiocyte. Suppose it is entering into meiosis, it is called as a meiocyte. So in G1 phase, it shows the same 14 chromosomes, 14 chromatids, 14 DNA molecules. There are no bivalents present. So here 2 arms I told you for one chromosome. So there are 14. So here you can write 28 arms. Similarly here also you can write 28 arms. 2 I have given for one chromosome. So we are writing the chromosome number as 14. Okay, now in the S phase, you know it is a synthetic phase where DNA replication takes place. So in S phase, we can say chromosome number will remain same, that is 14, but chromatid number will double, 28. DNA also will double, 28. No bivalents are formed here. Arms now, chromosome number is 14. So arms in general we will take 28. We are not counting here telocentric. In general, we are giving. So suppose you have the number of telocentric also, accordingly the number of arms will change. Otherwise, considering there is no telocentric, remaining all if we consider, this is how we can take the number. Now if we take next phase, that is G2 phase. G2 phase also the chromosome number will be same, say 14. Chromatids, it is after S phase, so doubling, 28. DNA also 28. Again here no bivalents, and arms will be 28. Now next coming to metaphase 1. In metaphase 1, earlier we discussed all the bivalents are arranged at the equator. So chromosome number will be same, diploid chromosome number, chromatid number is same, DNA also is same. But bivalents appear here. Of course, in the prophase also bivalents appear. So I have not mentioned prophase. We can take directly metaphase also. Metaphase also we can identify bivalents. So how many bivalents you can find here? 7 is the bivalent haploid number. 14 is the diploid number. So 7 will be haploid. So bivalents here will be 7. And the number of arms will remain same depending on the chromosome number. Now let us take anaphase 1. Anaphase 1 we will consider at each pole. Because anaphase 1 there is separation of homologous chromosomes take place. So let us consider at each pole. Each pole if we take, the chromosome number will be reduced to half. So we find 7 chromosomes. 7. And each chromosome is with 2 chromatids. So here we have 14 chromatids. So 14 DNA molecules. And there are no bivalents. There is separation of bivalents taking place in anaphase 1. Separation of bivalents. And now the number of arms. We are taking chromosomes as 7. So number of arms will be 14. Suppose here, if we consider the complete set, that is considering both the poles, simply we have to double these. We have to double. That means it will be then similar to metaphase 1. Except that there will not be any bivalents during anaphase. This column you will leave it blank. Otherwise, suppose you consider both the poles, you will get the double. So here when you have to answer a question, suppose only one pole is mentioned, then you can take this number. If nothing is mentioned, then you have to take both the poles. Now next go to the next one, that is metaphase 2. Metaphase 2, we know there are 2 metaphase plates formed. 2 metaphase plates. So we consider each metaphase plate. Let us consider each metaphase plate. So in each metaphase plate there will be half the chromosome number. So we get 7. And each one with 2 chromatids, so we get 14. Therefore 14 DNA molecules. And no bivalents here. Arms will be 14. Now let us consider next one, that is anaphase 2. Anaphase 2. So in anaphase 2 also we are going to consider at each pole. We know there are 4 poles in anaphase. Earlier, just in previous video, I discussed these with diagrams. So watch my previous video also. So it will be very clear. Anaphase 2 we find 4 poles because there are 2 metaphase plates. So there will be 4 poles. Each pole if we consider, there will be half the number of chromosomes, that is 7 chromosomes will be present. But since there is a chromatid separation, each chromosome will have only 1 chromatid. So 7 chromatids. Each chromosome will have only 1 chromatid because anaphase 2 there is separation of chromatid. So 7 chromatids. So therefore 7 DNA molecules. No bivalents. Arms will be 14. Lastly, in telophase 2, almost it is same as anaphase 2. Here also we will consider at each pole So here also it will be same, 7 chromosomes, 7 chromatids, 7 DNA molecules, and no bivalents, and 14 arms. So this is what we can give the number of chromosomes, chromatids or bivalents and DNA at different stages. This, if you understand, you have understood the topic very thoroughly. So to understand this table, first learn the process, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So once you have thoroughly followed that, this table will be very clear to you. Okay, now we have to compare two things here. These are the daughter cells. At the end of telophase 2, if we take the number of chromosome number at the end of telophase 2, let us consider chromosome number, telophase 2, say this is the chromosome number, this is the chromatid number, and this is the DNA. So now when the cell enters into meiosis, then we have to start this with G1 phase. S phase, if we take, we find 28 DNA molecules, 28 chromatids and 14 DNA chromosome number. Chromosome number is 14, 28 chromatids, 28 DNA. That means if we compare meiocyte with the daughter cells formed, we find half the chromosome number and 1/4 of DNA. 1/4 of DNA we find when cell enters into meiosis. 1/4 of DNA content in each daughter cell. But when we compare with that of the parent cell, this is the parent cell. 14 chromosome number, 14 chromatids, 14 DNA molecules. In any parent cell, whether it enters into division or not, it will have only one chromatid, therefore one DNA molecule. So here we have 14 chromosomes. And the end of the cell division, that is in the daughter cell, what do we find? 7. That is half the chromosome number, half the chromatids, half the DNA. That means the DNA content must be reduced to half. You know, meiosis is involved in gamete formation. So when the two gametes fuse and they form zygote, they give rise to the parent cell. Parent cell must maintain this chromosome number, DNA and chromatids. That is maintained after fertilization. That's why compared to parent cell, we find DNA content is reduced to half. But when we compare with meiocyte, that means when cell enters into division, then the DNA content will be 1/4 that of the meiocyte. This, I hope this table is clear, children. So you have to note it down and once again learn it. Here I complete this particular topic. Now next to what I want to discuss is difference. Lastly, in this chapter we will discuss difference between mitosis and meiosis. So few differences I have made a note, which all of you know it. Let us quickly go through that. First thing, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis takes place in somatic cells or vegetative cells, and meiosis takes place in reproductive cells or in the zygote during germination, when zygote is undergoing germination, like we find in some lower algae. And mitosis can take place in haploid or diploid cells. Any cells it can take place. But meiosis always must take place in a diploid cell. It cannot take place in a haploid cell. Meiosis always takes place in a diploid cell. It can never take place in haploid, because further reduction of chromosome number cannot take place. So it can never take place in a haploid cell. Now, next difference, interphase occurs prior to each division. Before each division, there is an interphase. But here interphase occurs only before meiosis 1. Before meiosis 2, it is called as interkinesis, which lacks S phase. It does not have any S phase. Though there is some gap period is seen, but it is without S phase. So it is called as interkinesis. Now next, number of chromosomes here remain same. And here number of chromosomes is reduced to half in the daughter cells. Next difference, daughter cells formed are similar to parent cell and to one another. But here daughter cells formed are similar to parent cell and among themselves. They are not similar. They are not similar to parent or they are not similar to themselves. Then, next difference, there are no variations occurring in mitosis. In mitosis, there are no variations occurring. Variations are observed in meiosis. Next difference we find, prophase is of short duration. Here prophase is of longer duration because it is divided further into 5 subphases. So these subphases in detail we already discussed in my previous video. So you must refer to my previous video. Single metaphase plate is formed in mitosis. Here 3 metaphase plates are formed. 1 in metaphase 1 and 2 in metaphase 2. Next, division of centromere occurs in anaphase. Here division of centromere occurs only in anaphase 2. Next difference, chromatids which separate two poles are of same kind. But here chromatids which separate during anaphase 2, they are of different kinds. They are of different kinds because of crossing over. Crossing over takes place in meiosis, which is absent in mitosis. Next, telophase is much longer in mitosis and produce interphase nuclei. The meaning of this is, once the telophase is completed, the nuclei again may enter into interphase. Sometimes they may not undergo cytokinesis. They may immediately enter into cell division. That means interphase. Here telophase is shorter and will not enter into interphase because meiosis takes place only once in germ cell. It cannot take place repeatedly. Whereas mitosis takes place repeatedly because it is involved in multiplication of cells and growth of cells. So it takes place many times and repeatedly. Immediately cell enters into the next division. Cytokinesis follows every mitosis. But here cytokinesis generally does not follow after telophase 1. It occurs simultaneously after telophase 2. So this is what is the cell division, mitosis and meiosis differences. So with this I completed what is meiosis, children. And now I would like to discuss few important questions in the here. So let us start with important questions. But let us stop this video. Immediately I am going to change over. I am going to discuss in my next video. I will prepare just another short video to discuss only questions. I feel short videos are more convenient for students. Especially you can watch it for a short time and understand that particular topic. And you can learn it simultaneously also. As you are watching the video, try to learn the topic also. That will be very, very useful to you. So keep the video, listening to it, looking to it. Immediately you can go through your textbooks also. This is going to be very, very useful, children. And those who are watching for the first time my channel, I want you to subscribe and share it to your friends so that I want to reach maximum number of students and help them. So that's all for now, children. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I'm just going to start the next video where I'm going to discuss the questions related to meiosis. Thank you very much, children. Have a good day.